All right, welcome everybody. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. This is the second week in a row. I'm going to try to do this via Zoom to Facebook so that my orientation stays the right direction. It seemed to work out really nicely last week, so really excited about that, and hopefully that's all working. Looks like my microphone's feeding in, so I am going to assume that you can see me and hear me, and we'll go ahead and dive right into stuff today. Hope you all had a great weekend. It was nice and quiet around here with unfortunately no exciting football for us to watch, except normal football. But I mean, our Green Bay Packers were out of it, but honestly, it was a much better season than any of us anticipated. So that was kind of cool. We were very excited that we got that far. All right, let me rearrange a few things here and I will start sharing the project for tonight. So remember that I'm working mostly out of the mini catalog January to April 2024. If you don't already have one, please make sure you contact me so that I can get one out to you ASAP. There's lots of great stuff in there. And I'll be working with several sets from there tonight. And then in addition, remember, for every $50 you spend between now and the end of February, you get to pick out an item from here for free. There's lots of great stuff. There's a ton of awesome designer series paper. If you are a paper lover, you are definitely going to want to go ahead and get something from there. So many of them coordinate really nicely with bundles that are in this catalog, which means pretty much if you bought the bundle, you'll get the paper for free within a few dollars. You might just have to tack on, a little bit of maybe like a pack of envelopes, some dimensionals, something very small, and you are at that $50 level getting some great designer series paper. All right, so let's see. So for tonight, we're doing a little, excuse me, a little bit of a fun fold, which you'll see in just a minute. If you want to have your stuff prepped and ready, you needed a piece of cardstock that's 4¼ by 11, and we're going to score it at 5½. Mine is pumpkin pie or pecan pie, sorry. Then you need a piece of designer series paper that's 2½ by 4, and we're going to use it vertically, so the 4 inches your length there. And then another piece that's 2¼ by 3¾ So again, 3¾ is your vertical distance. Both of mine are pecan pie pieces that are in the Neutrals family designer series paper pack. Then a neutral piece that's 2½ by 3¾ We'll use that horizontally. And you need some images, phrases, whatever you want to fill that up. And then you need a piece of neutral that is 4 by 5¼ That is going to take up some space on the inside of our card tonight. And the first thing we're going to do is I want you to grab your paper trimmer. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab our paper trimmers. And from one end, let me slide that over so you can see most of it there. My Post-it doesn't want to stick down. Nope, I have mine upside down. Okay, so from this one end here, put it in. It doesn't matter which end because obviously right now they're both the same. You're going to go over to 2¾ and you're going to trim off that piece. Okay, and set that aside. Then you're going to take it and turn it the other direction and trim it down to 4 inches. So you're basically just cutting off that tiny 1/4 inch bit. And you can just toss that. We are not going to end up using that at all. All right, so in case you are coming back there, you want to just double check that. Your first cut from one of the sides is to cut off 2¾ inch. Then turn that piece and trim it down to 4 inches long. Okay, so go ahead and grab your neutral piece. And you are going to stamp on that whatever you like with your images and phrases or whatever all that is. I have already started because I'm doing some coloring. I've already started with this little bear. And in case you are wondering, he is part of Fluffiest Friends. And this is one of our online exclusives. I think it's so, so cute. And it has a matching die set. And all of the large animal pieces plus the beaver's lair, den, whatever you call that. Those have matching dies in here. And then the rest of the dies in here are bonus ones. So you have 2 that cut grass-like shapes, several that do leaves, a few balloons, and then a branch and a little a beehive, and like a bigger hive-looking thing that has that beehive shape to it. So lots of fun things in there, and these animals are just so adorable. Then my phrase, actually, let me finish coloring in my bear first. I have my pecan pie blender. Blend. There we go. Stamp and blend. And I'm just going to go around and color in his face a little bit here. I like to draw in little circles and then just kind of go back and fill in some space. And remember with the blends, the more you go over it, the darker the color gets. So that's why I highlighted a little more over here and I made that side of his face just that much a little bit darker. And I'm going to go and do this side here where that natural darker fur seems to be sitting. I'm going to go ahead and go over that a couple times and then spread that out into the rest of the bear. I had already colored him ahead of time with the lighter pecan pie blend. And then I used a combination of wild wheat and daffodil delight to make that honey color. The daffodil delight just brought a little bit more yellow tone into the wild wheat. The wild wheat is very it's more of a golden on the brownish side of gold. And then that daffodil really kind of helped to make him make that honey really the right color. And then I believe I used gray granite to fill in his honey pot. Okay, so there he is. And then because this stamp set doesn't come with any phrases, I went ahead to grabbed my Be My Valentine from the mini catalog because it has here, you make my heart buzz. And how cute is that? Because, we've got our bee and we've got our honey. Oh, I forgot to grab my ink for my bee. That figures. Okay, let me get this done. So I have the You Make My Heart Buzz, and I'm going to put that right here. And then I just realized I forgot to bring over the black ink to do the bumblebee. Let me grab that quick. It never fails. There's always something. Okay, we close this up. And we'll get a couple bumblebees going around there. And that's what this little tiny one is here. It's got 3 little bumblebees on it. Okay. And you'll add some bumblebees around there. So you make my heart buzz. Okay, now that you have your neutral piece all colored in or stamped and colored and have your phrase or whatever that is, you're going to grab that piece that you cut down to that 4-inch length, and that is now going to become the mat for our image piece right there. Okay, so I'm taking some adhesive. Again, let's put those 2 guys together. And then just set him aside for a minute. Grab your card base, and you're going to want to give that fold that was on the 5.5 mark a nice burnish so it's nice and crisp. So now you see we're going to have a little door side here. Okay, so let's start by putting in our 4 by 5.25 piece. If there was anything you wanted to add to the inside of that, watch what I do here, and then you can decide if you want to go back in and maybe do that later, so you know where things were positioned. Okay, so that's going to fit the inside of our card there. Now you're going to take that smaller piece of designer series paper, the one that was 2.25 by 3.75. And there's, you see, there's the other side of that, that particular piece of pecan pie. And that is going to fill in here, and you're going to have just a little bit of a border all the way around. Okay, so when it's closed, you're going to see that, plus a little border here. And then as you may guess, this particular piece is going to go on the front flap. The opposite side of this one's super cute too. It's got all these little hearts on it. All right, so go ahead and do that. Now I can't see any comments, so I know I did something different. And I remember last week I could see your comments. So hopefully, don't worry if I'm not like answering a question or chiming in and saying hi, because apparently I don't have my comments up. So apologize for that. I will try to make sure I refigure that for next time so I can see them. Alrighty, and now we're going to add this to the front of the cardstock, and you can decide it. Front of the card. You can decide if you want to put it down flat or if you want to put some dimensionals behind it. And note that it's going to hang over this side. So you're going to not want to tape the whole thing down because you're going to want it to open up with that window. So I'm just going to put a couple rows of adhesive on that side so that it still opens the way I want it to open. And I'm going to do that right about in the middle of the card. And there you go. So there is our first sample for tonight. So again, we took a little bit of a fun fold option here. So like I said, now that you see what this is like, you can always add another phrase or some whatever into here and just put that to where this little part is so you don't have that peeking through. Okay, let's take a look at some other samples. I was very apparently much into coloring this week, so I have lots of cute little animals and things that needed to be colored in. So here is my first one. And this is from the Cutest Cow bundle. I didn't use the punch on this one. There is a punch that goes with that stamp set. that you can punch out all the pieces of the cow and build him up three-dimensionally, either with just plain cardstock or with, oops, sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze, or by stamping parts and then punching them out. So I took this little grass stamp, made that across. So you've got this milk jug, milk crate, something. And I added some flowers into it, colored in my little duckies, chickies, added the Your Special Day. And then I also decorated a little bit on the inside with some more of those sunflowers. So it says, it's your special day, and then milk it for all it's worth. Like that one's kind of cute. This is from the Zoo Crew. These designer series papers are from Zoo Crew. The backside of those all have black and white designs. And then I went in with my daffodil blends and I just colored in all the flowers so that it kind of goes with all the yellows that are in there. Alrighty, then I grabbed my Hidden Around stamp set. There is, let's see, what the dies from there had this little castle piece and the flag. So that's where I built that from. Stamped and die cut him out. The stars are also die cuts from the die set. And I took the phrase, you sparkle every day, and just cut it apart so that it would fit across various parts of my castle. This piece of DSP comes from the Just Kidding DSP that matches the collection. And this is Azure Afternoon, which is in the Brights, I believe, of the color family one. So you can see, again, it's that white lined pattern. And then I have some more stars on the inside. Okay. Then I went to Ice Cream Swirl, and instead of doing an ice cream cone, I kind of have an ice cream sundae concept here. I used Real Red from the Regals Designer Series papers. So here you see a couple more of those options, stripes and polka dots. And then I stamped and die cut out cherries and strawberries and these two little straw-like or stick cookie stick things that are stuck into my sundae. And then I added a couple more on the inside as well. And this piece here is just the ice cream cone that's just trimmed across the bottom where the rest of the cone would start to form. So it looks like the little bowl that you might get your ice cream in. All right, and last one here. I stepped this up a little bit by doing a few more bordered edges. So as you can see, compared to like our first one here, I cut down the DSP here and added smoky slate behind it. And then same here, I cut down the DSP, a layer of smoky slate. And then this also has lemon lolly and smoky slate behind it just to build up those colors. Gives it a little bit more dimension. And this is from Little Dreamers. It's a kind of a baby. It's a set for a new baby, cute little animals. And then the die pieces have a couple bonus parts like these little stars, which I added some Wink of Stella to. I'm not sure you can see them right there, but they'll show up on camera a little bit better when I take the photo. So little baby, big love. And then I have room inside to write. So that is that sample there. Let me go ahead and show you what I did to step up this version. And it was basically doing my front piece just a little bit differently. So instead of stamping him directly on here, I stamped and colored and die cut him with the die that matches. And I moved my phrase to the inside. So it says, you make my heart buzz on the inside. And I used that beehive and the branch ones and then stamped the bumblebees around again, just like I did on my first sample there. And he is popped up with dimensionals. So there's dimensionals behind that piece right there. And then also behind the bear and behind the honey pot, the beehive. So they kind of raise up and give lots and lots of dimension. All right, let me lay those over here for 1 second. I want to show you where I got the inspiration for this. This is a swap I got from fellow demonstrator Karen Titus, and she is using the Nature's Sweetness collection here, DSP, stamp set, etc. Same concepts, but this is very neutral colored, neutral palette, which is just stunning with these I can't remember what those were. Like they're some kind of seed pod, and I cannot remember the name of it right now. But just the fact that she left it in this black and white version and played off the colors that are in the DSP, I think that's super cool. And if you can see in the DSP, there's little bits of glimmer of gold. And so that gold accent you can put on there just really kind of ties it all together. All right, so that is the inspiration for that. Thank you, Karen Titus. Let me go ahead and bring these back in. So there is my two bears. And nice baby one and ice cream. I think I can get these guys still in here. And my castle wizard and the cow. So I couldn't decide in the end which one was the cutest because it was so much fun to just, like I said, I'm not usually one who sits in colors, but I guess I was just in the mood to color this week. So that was really kind of fun. Oh, also, I'll point out one of the other things I did here is I used my blending brush with pecan pie ink to go over that piece. So you can see normally it's white, and on here it's got some light pecan pie mushed into it there. So I kind of took some of the starkness out of that white piece and made this pop a little bit more. All right, I think that is it for now. And again, I apologize for not chiming in, saying hi, all that good stuff, because I couldn't see comments right now. So hopefully I will remedy that again by next week. But I think this is serving me pretty well. I like having my orientation back. Give me some feedback on this system, guys, if you don't mind, underneath. Could you see everything okay? Could you hear me okay? I still wonder sometimes about light and shadow and stuff like that. So any comments that you can give me based on what you were viewing would be really, really helpful. And as always, if you made a card along with me tonight, or you do in the future, please go ahead and share right under this post here. We'd love to see what you're working with, and can't wait to see what you guys create with this layout. All right, thanks everyone. You guys have a great evening, and I will see you again next Monday night at 6:30. Take care now.